Aubrey is a fabulous leader of Team B, right?
Yep, Team Butterfly Effect.
Okay, and she is in Texas, and she is working hard. I see a 5-star diamond in her near future. Yes, right? Yes, she's rocking, and I just think that she's such a fabulous resource for all of us as far as the Perfect Power Hour, managing time. Aubrey's a fitness instructor and a mom and a Beachbody coach, and she's super busy, so she's got a lot going on, and I'm just super thrilled to have her on this call because I know we can all learn a lot. So Aubrey, I'll let you kind of take it away and give any sort of introduction that you want to give, and then share with us what you have to share.
Absolutely. So I'm going to kind of run through this fast. So we will be recording it, and there's going to be a lot of text. So if you need to go, if you don't feel like taking notes now, you don't have to. But if you want to, I highly encourage it. However, also please know that this Perfect Power Hour that I originally created is primarily focused to new coaches, okay? So this is for new coaches because we all know once our organization grows, we do need to give it a little bit more time. But this is primarily focused as a brand new coach to outline if you literally only have 1 hour to get it done in your day, this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go to screen sharing. So give me just 1 second as I pull up my desktop. All righty. Jess, can you see my screen?
I sure can.
Okay, so this was from my Team Butterfly Effect. I'm sorry I did not change it for Team Radiate. I did this for us back in October, and so I'm happy to do this for you now. So this is the Perfect Power Hour. First of all, the first 15 minutes, so what you're going to do is you're going to start a timer for 15 minutes. If you literally only have 1 hour, start that timer for 15 minutes. And my first section is I call Keep Your Promises because, you know, people talk and we want people to share with people that they had a great experience from us. So first of all, we promise that we're going to coach people through a program, and we promise that we're going to help the people that we've already committed to. So keep your promises first. So check in with your challenge groups. So those are the people who've already paid for it. So go and like their comments, answer questions, and tag people if it's been a quiet group. And hold on just a second. I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to mute people just so on the video we don't have sound. I don't know why I can't mute Rachel or Amy, but that's okay. Jessica, can you see my screen again? Okay, good. Even though you're muted, I saw your face. Good. So like, comments, and answer questions, and also tag people if it's been a quiet group. If people haven't been engaging in your group, maybe ask a specific question. Generally, every Monday or Wednesday, I usually pick a specific day of a group, accountability time, and I tag everybody. I need to know how you're doing. Fill me in. Oops, sorry, since I went back just a second, ladies, I apologize because I went back to mute people. Now it's frozen my thing. Hold on just a second. It'll take me just a second to get back to it. Okay, save time by posting through Hootsuite. When you're a brand new coach, basic Hootsuite is perfect. You can do 1 or 2 groups with that. You have the option to do Hootsuite Pro once you become a coach that has multiple groups going. I don't know, Jessica's probably like me, and I'm generally have probably 4 groups going at a time at times, and so 4 or 5 groups, and it's always nice to not have to go there every day and cut and paste, even though it only takes a couple seconds. That takes seconds out of your 15 minutes. Check in with the groups you are accountable to. So I have here Team B, but yours would obviously be Team Radiate, Rockstar Presenters, and if you're involved in any new coach trainings, like our new Rockstar training that we have going on. So check in, be accountable, keep your promises. Next, you're going to go to your back office. This is your second 15 minutes. And you're going to check your alerts, any new emails or breaking news. Any new leads. So if you have new leads, this is what I do. Some coaches do it differently. Okay, so Jessica may do this differently. First, I search for them on Facebook. Are they on Facebook? We all get their email addresses, so I copy it and I go directly to Facebook. If they're not on Facebook, well, generally I do all three. If search for them on Facebook, I'm going to send them a text, and that text is just going to say, see, my lead's name was Carrie, and I'm just going to send a text that just says, is this Carrie? And that's it. Because generally you get a text back saying, yes, who's this? Who's asking? And so that just opens the door for communication, and then you can go back and forth. And I just usually say something like, my name is Aubrey, and I was assigned as your Beachbody coach upon your purchase of Power 90, or gosh, that's old school, P90. And I just wanted to know, have you received your program yet, or how did you hear about us? Like, I asked just some generic question, and then just say, I want to let you know that I'm here to support you with your goals. What's your story? So just start the conversation. Now, email, I have a generic email saved that is literally pretty much what I just said, that I then also email them. So I email, I text, I search on Facebook. If I cannot find them on Facebook, I put in that message, I search for you on Facebook. Are you there under a different email address? Because Facebook is the best way to get a hold of me. However, so you just introduce yourself. But the short and sweet for those new customers. But having things already saved is going to make this process faster. Keep it done in 15 minutes. And like I said, create a saved generic intro email that you send to them. And you're also going to add them at that point to your contacts list. Any new coaches in your organization? Maybe someone in your downline just signed someone up yesterday and they didn't tell you about it and you weren't aware. That gets exciting. Also, maybe you were waiting for that one coach to sign on the dotted line. Check to see if it happened. Are any of your coaches set to be inactive? If you have a ton of coaches on your team, this may not affect you as much, but for those of us who say right when you go Emerald, right, and you only have a couple people, you know that if you lose one person, you may lose your rank. The higher you go up in rank, the bigger deal that is. One day, I literally went from 1-star diamond to Emerald overnight because one of the coaches in my husband's account went inactive, and so he lost his Emerald status, which caused me to lose all of it. So keep your eye on that. Check Success Club points and point volumes, just to know where you are on pace, on track. Are you going for Success Club? Hopefully you are, because if you're not going for Success Club, you don't really have a solid goal that you're working towards. So check that. Check your point volumes. Why check your point volumes? It helps you know if your team is balanced, and where you should add that next coach. It also lets you know where your top producers are, so pay attention to that. Last 30 minutes, this is where the meat happens. Follow up and invite. Accept all fines, friend requests, and add to contacts. So this is the reason why I generally do this first, is because I don't accept any friend requests until I sit down to work. Because if you possibly say you met someone out at the grocery store or at the park or something and you got connected on Facebook, if you accepted that friend request right away, the likeliness of you remembering who that person is when you sit down to work at your power hour is very slim, at least if you're like me. So wait to accept those, and then send an intro message. And generally the one I send is just, nice to meet you. Carrie, it was so nice to meet you at the park the other day. I'd really love to know you better. What's your story? And it's amazing what people will tell you in that one question. And that one question, what people will tell you. If they've been following you and they know that you are a Beachbody coach or a fitness professional, generally they will tell you get all of the objections out of the way right there. Well, I've been a mom for this long and I couldn't lose my baby weight. They'll share more information than you ever dreamed of. However, if they don't know that, if they're one of those closed book type of people, they may ask the question, what do you want to know? And in that case, I'll literally come back and I'll say, what's your Cliff Notes? What's your Cliff Notes story? Just tell me a little bit about you. Where are you from? What do you like to do? Do you work? Are you a mom? I'll just ask them for their Cliff Notes. Follow up with all contacts you've been in correspondence with, because sometimes an invite is the natural next step to follow up. So I literally do my follow-ups before I do my invites because of this reason. So you sit down, you have all of your messages in Facebook. I literally sit down and just scan through, is there anybody in there who's just like random conversation that has nothing to do with work? If there are those in there, I skip them at this point because this is my power hour. This is work time. This is not social time. I skip those and just literally go to the ones who I've been correspondence with Beachbody, with work. Because so for example, I'm just going to give you an example. When I do that intro email, nice to meet you, what's your story? They normally send something back to me, right, that tells me a little bit about them. And generally, especially if they're a polite person, they'll say, well, what about you? Well, tell me about you. And so then I have a document called my Cliff Notes story. And it just tells a little bit about me, where I was born and raised and what brought me to Texas and when I got into fitness. But it ends with a sentence that says, I'm passionate about helping people find wellness in their lives through the use of movement, spirituality, and nutrition. Shakeology has been a game changer for me. Have you heard of it? And that's my second step with those people. And then they normally reply back saying, no, I haven't heard of it. What is it? Or, yes, I've heard of it, blah, 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 right? So if they've heard of it or if they ask, no, I haven't, there's your invite right there, right? It's easy. You can say it's a superfood wellness tool that I use with all of the people that I coach. I actually have a challenge coming up that starts on X date. Would you like more info? And there you go. You just got one of your invites done for the day without really having to stress about it, right? If you follow these steps. Here's the important part I don't have in this spreadsheet or in this PowerPoint is I literally keep a piece of paper. I have a notebook next to me. My husband's very techie, so I have a nice computer program that I put all my leads into. However, as I'm working, I'm a tick mark type of person. So I'll have one that says F for finds, I for invites, FU for follow-ups. And as I'm doing them for the day, I'll put little tally marks, and I have my own personal goal of what I'm trying to hit every day. So say if you're a brand new coach, you should have a goal of you're wanting to try to get at least 2 invites every day and at least 4 follow-ups. That's what I tell my coaches. I don't know if Jessica will tell you different. However, as you know, I've been a coach for 4 years, and my goal daily is 5 invites and 10 follow-ups. That's my goal. And so if that power hour gets up and I've hit my goals, perfect, I may stop once I hit my goal, okay? So just to keep that in mind. If you haven't hit your invite goal through the follow-up process, make sure you finalize your invites before the hour is over. So quick invites to anyone who've liked or commented on your recent posts. That's usually the first thing that I do is go to my Facebook page and look at the last 2 days and who have liked and who commented on it. Why do I invite those people? Because those are the people who are following me. Okay? They're paying attention to me. They respect me. They like me. So they're going to be more apt to say yes. So I always reach out to those people first. Another place you can go to is if you have a not now list of who you haven't talked to in 6 months or more. However, if you're a brand new coach, literally, just go and just scan through the news feed and see who's on there that you haven't invited yet. Here's the secret, though. You can't read what people post. It's like a quick scan. Just scan down and see. You can't get sucked in. You have to be disciplined about it. Just look for names. Oh, Carrie Jackson. I haven't reached out to that person. So that's where you find those next invites. Make the most of your power hour. Do you have more than just 1 hour to give? Or be social on social media and make new contacts. So don't just read posts and watch videos. Actually make comments to grab attention. Tag people. The reason why is the more you like things, you comment on things on other people's posts, the more your news feed is going to show up, or the more your posts are going to show up in their news feed. And so if you're promoting a program or a challenge group or something like that, you want the most people to see it. Because sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, sometimes when I fail to be social on social media and I just use it for work, I may only see Beachbody Coach's posts, and that's it, because those are the people that I'm like in contact with on a regular basis. So the algorithms of Facebook end up making it to where I can only see those people. So that's why it's important, you know, on a semi-regular basis to go and actually be social on social media. If all you had was 1 hour to give, be satisfied with you got accomplished today. And that's it. When that timer goes off, and if that's all you had to give, be satisfied with it. And if you were focused through that whole time, I know from personal experience you can get everything done that I just said in an hour, but it takes diligence of staying focused and not answering texts, not answering your cell phone, not getting sucked in to anything else except what you have to do. So that's all I got. That's what I got. I'm going to take everybody off mute. If you have any questions.
I know I have questions, but I want to hear what you ladies have questions on. Anyone?
No questions for me, ladies.
Aubrey, how much, I'll ask questions. I got lots of questions. Aubrey, how much time do you put in now?
Okay, that's a tricky question. So you say I'm so great with time management. The bigger my team grows, the less I feel like I'm getting good with time management. Because to be quite frank, I built my business for the first year to year and a half on 30 minutes a day. And that was it. So I was super focused because my kids were down for nap, and that's all the time that I had. Now this is how I break down my day now. I have usually a 30-minute stint where I do challenge groups, because I've been working on putting all of my challenge groups on video. So whatever challenge group that I'm running at that point, like I make one video every day because that's just how it works for me. So say, for example, for Ultimate Reset right now, I'm in the midst of it. So I make a video every morning that during my 30-minute slot. I post it to my group. I post it to YouTube, and then I save it to an Excel doc. Okay, to make it so the next time I run this challenge that my whole document is already there and made for me. And then I check in with the groups that I'm already in. Then I have another 30-minute time slot, at least for leadership, where I check in with the VIP group, with Rockstar Presenters, with Team B, where I do my best at that point to be the leader that my team wants me to be, and also be the team member that I want to have. Okay, so that's at least an hour there, and then I spend an hour literally that's on my back office and my follow-ups. So my challenge groups aren't a part of my power hour anymore. That's a separate part. Because now that is my goal to get 10 follow-ups and 5 invites a day. That takes more time, and to be quite frank, I generally have more like 20 follow-ups a day instead of 10. So I spend a good 45 minutes on just that part of the puzzle, and then about 15 minutes in the back office. And then I need at least another 15 minutes to follow up on texts and messages from the day. So that's usually how I close my day with my to-do list. And then I also need another, I would say probably a total of an extra hour during the day for social media content, because with my friend page and my like page, and Instagram. You know, I have three sources that I'm needing to come up with content every day, and I generally make a yoga video, tutorial video, at least 3 times a week that I post on one of those. So in the midst of making all of that and getting them posted, that's probably about another hour a day. So I would say I spend about 3 hours a day, but approximately, and that doesn't have anything to do with the KPIs that I do for my team or team calls or anything like that. So the days that I have multiple KPIs, I may work 4 hours a day, something like that. So.
Thank you. Other questions that you guys have? Otherwise, I'll ask more.
Go for it, Jess. Shoot it.
Okay. How do you how have you found yourself disciplined? How do you discipline yourself to not mess with your phone, to not be messing with, you know what I'm saying, like during your power hour? Do you literally set a timer? Do you put your phone on airplane mode? Do you know what I'm saying, kind of? Because I know I know, is this a dumb question?
No, not at all. I'm not as diligent as I used to be whenever my 5-year-old was at home with me last year, because he just started preschool this year. So I was more diligent about it then because I literally was on more of a time crunch. But literally, honestly, the reason why I'm the slowest to reply to anything on like the VIP group or whatever, my phone is literally on Do Not Disturb all the time. All the time.
Yeah, no, that's good.
All the time, unless I'm expecting a phone call from someone, then I'll turn it off, or I'm like waiting for someone to contact me. I run my day on appointments only. Like, I don't do random phone calls. I don't do random with hardly anyone. I mean, my mom knows she can reach me during the dinner time hour when I'm cooking dinner. And that's about it. But generally, she doesn't call me because I call her. She knows I run on, like, everything is scheduled. And so if people text me and want my time, I'll say, well, I have this time tomorrow, and I reply to that via text. So literally, my phone, people can't get a hold of me. You know, to get a hold of me, you Facebook me or you text me and you make an appointment.
Okay, that's great advice.
Mm-hmm.
Great advice. Other questions, guys, about Power Hour and time management?
I have a question. No questions, but you asked some really good ones, so that's good.
Good. Alyssa, what's your question, girl?
My question is, okay, so you went over your hour, and in the first 15 minutes you check in with your challenge groups and things like that. Do you ever circle back? Because I feel like in that time, you know, by the time you get to the end of your power hour, there might be other messages or comments or notifications in Facebook that you might want to address. Do you circle back, or do you just leave it until your next power hour?
I do if I have time. Okay. You know, I mean, and depends on how tight my schedule is. Like, say, for example, I may tell myself that I only have an hour during this part of the day, but it's because that's what I want to do. But I really could go another 15 or 30 minutes if I really wanted to, if things were that pressing. So I'll circle back if there's time. But if there's not, especially in my groups, I don't go back, because at that point, you're training your people for you to be on call 24/7. And if they expect you to answer every time that you comment, then, I mean, once your organization gets bigger and you have lots of people there, then you're setting yourself up for failure. You know, if I have time or there's someone who I really, like, say, for example, my cousin is going through the ultimate reset with me right now. And so his health is in jeopardy, and it's bad, and he's entrusting me, and so I'm emotionally involved there. And so, like, there's different things to every rule, you know? It's like when there's people in there who literally I love, I give those people extra time and attention. You know, I'm human. So, but.
That's a great question, Alyssa. A great response, Aubrey. Other questions, guys? Bridget, Amy, Rachel, Nicole?
So, can you hear me? This is Bridget.
Yep.
Okay. I had to use the audio on my phone because I can't get the computer one to work. So my question, because of what you just said for checking back, would that change if, let's say, your power hour is in the morning? So let's say you're doing everything from, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Then at night, would you try to make time to go back and kind of check in with everyone because it's been so long?
If your time allows for it. Everybody's priorities are different. And I mean, I generally have 30 minutes in the evening that I give to my business. If your time allows for it, then sure. But, if you have a husband like mine his love languages are quality time and physical touch, then there's a certain part of the night that you have to say goodbye to your challenge groups and you have to go plug into the people who are the most important to you in your life. So, I mean, if you have time for it, sure. But, everybody's situation is different. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
The hardest part for me about circling back, I'm going to tell you the hardest part for me is say, like, I just messaged someone, but I still have 10 people who I haven't replied back from who say I messaged 10 people yesterday, and I got a reply back from every single one. And I sit down and I start at the bottom and I'm working my way up, and say it like I'm on 1 or 2, and I message them, and then they immediately reply back to me. That's the hardest part that I have is I do my best, honestly, to continue up the line of people. So all the people from yesterday get at least one reply from me before I circle back to that girl who messaged me right away, because it's really easy to get sucked into people who are live and right there. And I try to get that person at least one more message. But the hard part is if you might have someone who's really, really interested. They're not online right now, but if you all of a sudden you don't take control of your time, and those people may end up you may not get back to them for a day or two, then all of a sudden they're emotionally not ready anymore. That's the hardest one that I have with circling back, because when they're live, I'm like, oh, I want to go engage with that person right now who's engaging with me. I usually maybe kind of go back and forth, like message them once and then go back and message that one other person and then message them and then go back,
Mm-hmm. Do you ignore, Aubrey, well, maybe ignore is a poor word, but do you choose not to attend to notifications and whatnot popping up on your iPhone?
I do that in the bathroom. I do that in the bathroom. When I go to the toilet, I do that. I do have to say I'm guilty when I go into pee, pretending like I'm doing more than that every once in a while to check notifications. I have to admit that I'm guilty. Sometimes my husband will say, do you go in there to pee, or are you just hanging out in there? What's going on? I am guilty of that, but when I'm really diligent about my time, when life is really stressful, then I ignore the notifications. I'll go through and I'll look to see, was Amanda looking for me on something? Because sometimes she has really important stuff for me in the VIP group that she knows to tag me, because I generally don't just always go there for random stuff. But yeah, bathroom time.
All right. Good job. Good response. Anybody else have questions?